This is Melonville. This is not a how-to channel. This is just a journal of mostly my backyard gardening experiences. We're on a quarter section in southeast Saskatchewan. We're zone 3B and we get about 100 to 110 days frost-free. And this morning, I'm in my basement. We're tracking down a water leak. It's been a problem for several months, and we're getting down to finally figuring out where this booger lives. The pipe comes into the house right here, goes into this blue tank, that's the pressure system. It has a little valve on it so it knows when to call to the well for water to keep the house pressurized. Goes from the pressure tank to the salt conditioning system, just to condition the iron and nonsense out of the water. Then it goes to the hot water tank or the cold water pipes. You would not believe the mess of pipes. This house has been through at least 4 owners that I know. It was originally a homestead, like a real homestead, and the evolution of plumbing over the last, 70, 80 years has made a maze of pipes and things back there. So it's been a heck of a weekend. I've spent several hours in the basement making notes. I brought my computer down so that I can do other work. I do websites and nonsense with WordPress, and WordPress did a major update, so I've got a whole bunch of clients whose websites need to have updates done, and I can do that from the basement while I'm listening for the pressure system to go off. That's fine by me. But you know what I would rather be doing? I'd rather be doing an end of the month garden tour. So how about we go outside and do that? Let me just wait for 10 more minutes to make sure that the pressure system isn't going off, because I think I have eliminated all of the possibilities except for one. Well, the first place we should stop is inside. Is there anything that I still have inside the house? And the answer is yes. I am starting seeds, things like lettuce and cabbage, and I'm starting them inside because I think I can keep a better eye on them, to make sure that they're watered, make sure that the temperature doesn't swing like crazy. We've had 30-degree days, and we're just now going back into single-digit nights. It's just so silly. So I will start some things inside. So I have right now some more lettuce. The rest of the lettuce that's out there is really wonderful. The variety Bib, really enjoying that. Pot of basil there, hoping the door open. What I have in here now is jalapeno peppers, the loofahs, and I had 3 extra cucumbers that I didn't know anywhere to put them, so I brought them in here. A friend of mine convinced me not to throw them away and that I should grow them and give them to the food bank. So those are the food bank cucumbers. Let me show you the loofahs. I was saving other videos for moving them out here for like a dedicated loofah video, but I'll let you see how they are doing. This guy here, when he came outside, he just sort of stopped. Said, I don't need to grow any further. I'm still figuring this out. But this guy's doing well. He's climbing up the string, and the string will lead him to the framework. So hopefully, he's going to continue to grow. My container potatoes are doing so well. I think I've even seen some blossoms on them. The Ruth Stout potatoes are just finally starting to come up. Let me see if I can find this one for you. So you can see he's making his way out of the grass. There's a couple more around here too. They're just a little harder to see. We've got some lettuce, some spinach, some more onions. There's rosemary in here, and rosemary is the only thing this year that I purchased started from someone else. I have tried starting rosemary several times, and man, what a bugger that is. I can never get it to come up. Actually, I lied. I did once, and I started it the March or April prior to the year when I planted it out. So I had those guys inside for a whole year before they were big enough to actually go outside. I don't need that headache, so I'll let somebody else start the rosemary from now on. Got some cilantro in the front, and I put some beans across the back there. This row of radishes is daikon radish, and they're a very long, white, supposedly milder radish, and they're supposed to be good for stir fries as well. So it's the first time trying those for me this year. More onions, because you can never have too many onions, and these are the sweet peppers. You can see that they are starting to pepper up, and we've got some good flowers on most of them. Happy with those. Those are the cucumbers and the cucumber trellis, celery, and some leeks. In the wind. The corn looks awesome. I don't think it's going to be knee-high by the 4th of July, as the saying goes, but you get what you get. These are the other onions. These are the ones that I did go through and selectively trim, and I think I actually need to go through and trim some more. We've got lettuce in here and those wonderful peas that we started in the eaves trough, and a whole lot of dill. And the dill story is kind of funny. So all of this dill is volunteer. It all came from a couple of plants that I had last year. And when I first planted up this bed, I planted carrots. And you know what carrots look like? They look like dill. So when I was weeding, I didn't realize at first that all of this was dill. I thought it was the carrots. So I left it all, and now I have a load of dill that I have to deal with. So the peas are doing very well. They're nicely flowered up, and I have enough here that I can probably eat for dinner. And that was the variety Alaskan. This is the variety of snow peas. And look how pretty that is. They're pink and purple. They're much shorter. Like, look at how the difference is. Different varieties. You've seen the cabbage and bok choy in there, and that's another container of potatoes. There is tomatoes, jalapenos, and I put my acorn squash at this end of the garden. This magnificent bed is the garlic. So important to have. And I'm happy to say that the garlic is shooting up escapes. This is the flower of the garlic, and it is something that you need to cut back because you want to stop any energy from being wasted in the garlic flower, the scape, so that all of the energy goes into the bulb. And the wonderful thing about scapes is they are edible. I make a garlic scape pesto, and it's wonderful on spaghetti. This is how the butternut squash is doing. It's taking its time. I think it was kind of stressed out when it moved out here. It didn't take off quite as well as I would have liked. And this is the zucchini, which, happy to say, we're getting blossoms on. So hooray. Last year, I accidentally did something stupid and I did not have any zucchini plants. I actually had to get zucchini from a friend. Can you imagine? And back here on the south side of the garden are the tomatoes. There's about 20 feet worth of tomatoes. I've two different methods for holding up the tomatoes, and I'm trying to do this as an experiment. Now, as I confessed in my other tour, I'm not much of a flower gardener. I have just foundation plantings. I'll show off things as they come into bloom in regular vlogs, but I wanted to point out that that rose bush that I thought was dead is giving it a try, so we'll let them stay there. We won't pull them out just yet. And the Siberian iris, so delicate and pretty, with this wonderful background of green. This is the Russian sage. It's a perennial sage. I think the variety is called May Night, and I love this stuff. I have it in a couple of places in the garden. It's just so pretty, and that stays in bloom for quite a while. We've got daylilies and more roses, hostas of course, and soon we should have some peonies. That would be nice. This area up here is a garden section that I put in. It wasn't here when we moved here, and it's still in a bit of an evolution. I'm not 100% happy with where everything is, but it's still pretty. The part that's bothering me right now is this section here. I think I have too many round things that are all at the same height. There is and this little bed is, again, pretty much all perennials. It has the lilac in it, and this is the first rose that always comes out. This is Martin Frobisher. It's an Explorer Series rose. Very, very hardy. You don't have to do anything to it. I usually put some compost around it over the winter because this is the north side of the house, but honest Pete, you don't have to. And it's so pretty. I have some more roses. That pink stuff is called soapwort, and it's a nice little ground cover. So did I zoom you through the tour with enough time to see everything, but not too much time to be bored by bogged down details? That was my aim. But I'm gonna let you go now. I have to go back to the basement and listen to my pressure system. So I'm gonna cut you off now. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for stopping by.